Hello, my name is Logan Clementi. This is my video for my drugs, alcohol, and crime class at Seminole State College. Today I will be talking about the effects addiction takes on one's body and my personal opinion on how drugs can be a gateway to crime. According to the Merriam-Webster Dictionary, addiction is the compulsive psychological need for and use of a habit-forming substance that's characterized by tolerance and by well-defined psychological symptoms upon withdrawal. To put it in simple terms for those who couldn't understand that, it's the persistent compulsive use of a substance known by the user or drug addict to be physically, psychologically, and/or socially harmful. Drug addiction has many effects, both psychological and physical. First, I'm going to touch on the psychological effects. Typically, a drug addict will start doing drugs to help cope with pain or stress or other issues in their life. So they keep doing these drugs, and then soon a cycle forms. Whenever they feel these feelings like stress, pain, or depression, they start getting a craving for the drug. Their minds get so obsessed with this craving that when they don't have the drug, they can barely function. This affects them greatly. It can have effects on their personality, it can give them mood changes, and depending on the drug, it can even cause things such as hallucination. Now, let's take a moment to discuss the physical effects of drug addiction. The physical effects of drug addiction cause many issues with your body and can even be fatal. Many drugs do damage to the different organs and organ systems of your body. For instance, kidneys can be damaged by the continued use of certain drugs and can ultimately lead to kidney failure. The liver can fail due to drug use. The most common reason for liver failure is alcoholism in the United States and most places around the world. The heart, which you should all know is one of the most vital organs in our body, can fall and be destroyed. Drugs, usually stimulants, can damage the heart and cause strokes, failure, and artery blockage. The lungs can also be harmed and be destroyed through drug use, most commonly through smoking of drugs like marijuana, cigarettes, any tobacco products, crystal meth, crack cocaine, etc. The most common issues for drug addicts, according to the National Institute of Drug Abuse in the United States, is heart and lung issues. Drug addiction can also cause different birth defects for your child, such as missing limbs, brain issues, premature birth. We all know those things aren't good. Other common issues that stem from drug addiction are nausea, increased heart rate, brain damage, and more. According to the National Institute of Drug Abuse, in the United States, 1 in 3 deaths can be linked to drug addiction. Now, I'm going to talk about my personal opinion on if and how drugs can lead to crime. If you don't agree with me, feel free to start an argument or debate in the comments so I can set you straight. Now, there is something called the gateway drug theory. For those of you who are not familiar, this theory states that through the use of certain drugs, you are more likely to do harder drugs and get into crime. I believe this to be true. I say this for multiple reasons, including facts, logic, and statistics. In the past 10 years, 15% of all prisoners in the United States were in prison for crimes related to drugs or crimes committed to obtain drugs or money. In Denver, Colorado, specifically the drug marijuana, also known as weed, pot, Mary Jane, etc., crimes have increased even through legalization. Public intoxication or smoking of marijuana has gone up 245% in the past year. DUIs involving marijuana have increased 70%, and all populated burglaries in Denver have increased by 32%. I think that this shows that a drug, in this case marijuana, can lead to crime and legal issues. Also, when you're involved with drugs, those are obviously illegal, meaning you're already involved with crime, which can make you desensitized. For those of you who don't know what desensitization is, it's when you're so used to something that it doesn't really have a big effect or you don't think it's so bad. Such as the older generation, say people in their 60s, 70s, 80s, they see marijuana as this bad thing. They may have gone through it in the 70s where, oh, everyone was smoking marijuana, they were hippies, but they still didn't think it was bad. But marijuana has become such a big thing in society that people, say, of my generation and future generations are more desensitized to it, meaning that they're more used to it. They don't see it as such a bad thing. Other crimes may also not seem as bad to you since you need this drug and you won't be thinking when you're doing whatever it takes to get the drug. Therefore, my personal opinion is officially that drugs can be a gateway to crime, proving the gateway theory true. Thank you all for watching. Like, subscribe, share. I hope you enjoyed watching this video as much as I enjoyed doing this on 2 hours of sleep.